You're listening to Weeknight Wizards.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weeknight Wizards, D&D 5e, Isles of Hebria. I'm your unfriendly neighborhood GM, Anthony, and I am joined by the four gamesmen here to play some role-playing game. I have a player question for you lads tonight. So tomorrow night, or tonight, technically tomorrow, the new Captain America movie comes out. And I know that we have discussed Marvel movies in one of these questions beforehand. My question for you lot is, who is your favorite non-main character in the MCU? I will clarify. A non-main character is any character that does not have their own movie, their own spin-off show, or is not part of a team that is like has their own movie.
I thought you were gonna say, what is your bet on over under whether this scores higher than Madam Web?
It'll be higher than Madam Web. That's
early
so
on
Too
Rotten
easy.
Tomatoes early results. Maybe not.
boy.
No. I have heard Madam Web is unwatchable.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Hang on.
All right.
I have to look up some characters. I think because is it Wong is Doctor Strange's friend?
Yes.
I think he's kind of like he's always a little bit of a scene stealer across.
That's a great pick.
I enjoy him a lot every time he pops up. And I'm glad because he wasn't even on the list of people I found in the MCU.
I guess I have a particular soft spot for Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy because
That's
I
another
can't
great pick.
I can't think of anything both funnier and also weirder than I guess ostensibly a redneck that whistles a needle to kill people. Just like the
Yeah.
wackiness of that as a character design felt very much like, should we make this a character? And then everyone was just like, who cares? Fuck it. Just do it. Like that's like very much how the conversation
Of course
went,
we
so.
should. We've already done the makeup on him. He's
Yeah,
blue.
exactly.
He's already blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like Yondu. I think it's a
Yeah.
fun, does not take itself too seriously as a member of that universe. Yeah.
I
think it's a great pick, Greg.
Sorry, before anyone else, I do have a question. How are you ranking the Netflix Marvel show characters?
Oh yeah.
Because
the
they are
Defenders universe.
sort of canon, but not real. Technically only Daredevil has been made canon in that.
I would say that those, like, at the time, those were canon.
Okay. And our main
Stuff has
characters.
changed. They are main characters of their own shows.
Okay.
And also of their team up show that was bad.
That
was bad.
Unfortunately.
Okay, I'll go. I have always really thought the Silver Surfer was really cool.
Yeah.
I really think he's like so forced into slavery, unfortunately, to Galactus. But there's like shining moments where he does help and doesn't do exactly what Galactus says.
I'm looking for MCU character.
Technically not there yet. He's not been introduced yet in the MCU. He might in the new upcoming.
He's not I mean,
2007 Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Actually, so Anthony, though technically all of those movies are now canon MCU because of Deadpool 3.
Okay, then Blade.
There we go.
hell yeah.
It worked. It
I have
works.
I like the answer. I have terrible news about him being a main character. He's got his
Yeah.
own movies,
I
sir.
saw
He's got
saw
3
that
of them technically.
when I looked it
Yeah.
up. Isn't it Michael B. Jordan too?
Well, the
I
original
don't think so.
Oh, the new one's gonna be Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala, yeah,
Ah,
which
okay.
is, it's been in development. hell,
That'll be
unfortunately.
sick, actually. That'll be really
Yeah,
good.
if they ever get it.
Michael B. Jordan's villain in the original Black Panther is a good pull.
That's good.
Yeah,
So
he's
is
he's a great villain.
Gollum as the secondary villain in that movie, whose name
Andy
I forget.
Serkis.
Andy
He's
Serkis.
Andy
Fowler.
Serkis. Yeah.
But I think I'm going with Howard the Duck.
That's a good pull.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that apparently
he's his
fourth
own
wall
movie.
breaking?
Not in the
Well,
MCU.
That's
I
true.
guess.
Do you know Howard the Duck? Apparently, fourth wall breaking is considered a superpower. If
Yeah.
you look up,
Deadpool
which
has
is
it
like,
too.
yeah, right. But like Howard the Duck is like, I guess, the first canonical character to have fourth wall breaking, and it is like a superpower, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Wait, no, my actual pick is Wilson Fisk from the
Ooh.
Daredevil universe.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a
a
good
great
pull.
Wilson Fisk is a great character.
Yeah. He like made those shows. He's like the best part easily.
Yeah.
So good.
I still like the Punisher. I like Daredevil a lot, but
Mm.
Punisher I thought was amazing on the Netflix series. Not the
It
movies,
was very good.
just the Netflix
Yeah.
series.
It was
Movies?
also very
Very
good.
bad.
But
Yeah.
but they did that one didn't have a villain as good as Wilson Fisk.
Agreed.
It
Totally
had
agreed.
Ben Barnes.
It wasn't as
It's not
good.
It's not as good. Nick, do you have a revised answer?
Wilson Fisk. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I can't really think of.
Daredevil's dopey sidekick, whose name I forgot. Foggy?
Foggy.
I'm a fan of Daredevil.
Man, Daredevil, that was good. Like
That's a real good show.
they really led strong with that universe. I also liked what was the one with what's her name?
Jessica
Are
Jones.
you talking?
Jessica
You're talking
Jones was
about-
actually pretty good.
Are you talking about Fulton Reed? That's what you're talking about, right? From
Maybe.
Mighty Ducks. That's the actor, the same actor.
Probably.
I'm not really up on my
That's
Mighty
Foggy.
Ducks lore, but yeah.
Foggy is the
Yeah.
same actor.
All
No, I'm
right,
sticking
Anthony,
with
what's
Silver
your
Surfer. Deal with it.
Anthony, what about you?
Obviously, I'm going with Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Oh my god.
That's a good
yeah.
pull.
Well, to be fair, anything in Thor Ragnarok's a fair shout. It's just
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
just good. Yeah.
I'm made of rocks.
Yeah, who's the rock guy? He's very
Taika
good,
Waititi.
too.
He's the director.
Taika
so-
Waititi, yeah.
I don't mean the actor.
Got
I
it.
meant the
My name's Korg. I'm made of
Korg.
rock.
Yeah,
Korg.
Korg's very good.
He's got knives.
Oh,
Thank you for indulging me. Let's do a recap of what happened last time in this thrilling adventure that we're on.
Turtle on turtle violence.
Unfortunately.
Stop.
Don't give him plastic straws, otherwise it's gonna get
Mhm.
absolutely fucking deadly.
Oh, it's gonna wreck this turtle population.
That would have been so funny if they both got into the ring and the announcer
Yeah.
just throws down a plastic straw in the middle.
2 plastic javelins, yeah, that they have to like
Oh, just one in the middle.
just one to fight, yeah. Gladiator style.
Oh.
Big man Blastoise. I'm just reading the notes.
Big man Blastoise.
Big bad Blastoise. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I can give a quick recap. We left Karkaram. We took our skyship that had been fixed. We were heading towards the island of Paras, which is where Vera's from, because we wanted to drop off our or I guess the kind of refugee Gorgons that were on board, but also hopefully find a trading post or find some information about where the Kapadra children and the eggs and the turtles could also be dropped off. On our way over the ocean, we saw Kabura. Kabura, right?
Yep,
yeah.
Kabura, yep.
Or I
Snake.
guess Vera and when I saw Kabura, which is the god, the serpent god, the snake god, swimming in the waters, which was ominous and also awe-inspiring. And then upon landing on the western eastern coast of Paris, noticed that there was a community of turtles that were already there. And upon kind of engaging with them, when I found out that they were members of not his bail, but of like communities that he had interacted with in the past, and that led to some catching up with some familiar faces. But one of those familiar faces was another warrior type who did not take very kindly to Wanai being back. And after a bunch of posturing, they decided to get into the ring and duke it out. At which point, Wanai, much like when you fight yourself in the water temple in the Ocarina of Time, had to fight himself and got summarily knocked out by
Just
his
like
his
8-year-old me
his
in Ocarina of Time fighting Dark Link. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. His enemy, not killed, obviously, not maimed, but knocked out, and that's where we left it at the end of last episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we're dealing some non-lethal damage on those fight. Was there anything that I wanted to clarify before?
We
Big
returned the
boy's called
kids and the eggs.
Victog. Yeah.
Yeah. We returned the eggs.
Yep, return the eggs. That happened. You left out the phone call.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did call. Oh my God, what is his name? Vampire Man.
Your man
Yeah.
crush. Don't help him. Don't help him.
I'm not gonna help
No.
him.
God damn it. What's this guy's name? You
In the
know, all these
notes.
men look the same to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Not all men.
Vadric.
Yeah.
So we called Vadric to reconnect with him because we realized we hadn't talked to him in a while. He then told us that apparently there's unreliable service. They don't have 5G in Karkaram, but we didn't bother trying. So sucks to suck for him. And we told him about getting the masks and that we were headed over to Paris. And he had told us that in the islands in that region of Ariabis that there was going to be a vault opening, like a big conclave meeting, and they were going to open a vault, and he wanted us to steal a precious gem, the jewel of Ariabis, for him, because he wanted it for his collection, because he's a greedy boy, and we agreed. And also, what's her name was going to join us?
Oh, that's
Quinn's
Yara.
frenemy.
It's
Yes.
a bad idea. We're not gonna have whatever we steal.
That's your job.
Excellent. Thank you for the recap. Let's see. I will open us up to the setting, but before I do, let's see. I know we sometimes ask if we can speak frankly, but can I speak corporately for a moment?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Because I just want to level set. I want to make sure that we are aligned on our goals for Q4 so that we can cross that finish line
For
together.
Q4, Anthony, we're not even through Q1.
No, this is arc number 4.
I see. Okay.
We'll start back over in the next fiscal year with the next arc.
That's when we reboot into D&D 5th edition 2024.
I don't know about that. So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, aligned, I have a bunch of stuff planned for this arc. But we discussed the trial of Vasla before, yes?
Mm-hmm.
The trial is happening in 3 days.
Okay. That's good to know.
There is the amount of stuff that I have planned that you as PCs can do either to prepare for or like the other like stuff to accomplish in Ariabis. All of that cannot be accomplished in 3 days. You cannot do it all and make it in time.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be up to you to decide where and how you want to go about things. And there will be things that do not get included or things that do get missed.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it's up to Vera about us attending the trial. And I would say that just by virtue of if we didn't know who this person was, I mean, A, we wouldn't have probably saved her, but like B, like would we go to her trial? I don't know. So, but if it's obviously up to Vera if we do that. But I think it makes sense for us to kind of do a little bit around that. And like I mean, there's no reason for us to like leave right away after. So if you got a lot of stuff planned, I don't think it's like a huge issue for us to break it up.
So we will open the scene. It is I gotta track this somehow, but it is noon on the first day.
Dawn of the first
trial,
day.
Yes, the trial will take place at noon on the third day.
And where was the trial? Do we know where the trial was?
Uh,
Or is going to be, I should say.
I think that you would assume that the trial will be taking place in Trisalis, which is the capital of
The
Erebus.
capital of Erebus, yeah.
Okay.
Which is where the vault also is, yeah.
Correct. So we will open on this sort of the interior of this hut down here. Wanai comes to probably sore a little bit, but back to full health. You've been resuscitated by potions, and the Elder Nurkella is tending to your wounds and making sure that you're okay. I would imagine that the rest of the crew is around you, but I will let them speak for themselves.
1A, you got your ass kicked.
I don't really want to talk about it, Manny.
Okay.
Thanks for not helping. I genuinely appreciate you guys standing back.
I thought that was sarcasm for a minute, but you're welcome.
Yeah,
What-
I was
what-
also picking up on
What's
some
sarcasm?
I think Vera like puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "The good news is because he didn't kill you, you won't make that same mistake the next time you face him. A shot at redemption."
Thank you, Vera. I appreciate it. I think
You're welcome.
I don't necessarily feel like I belong here at this time. If Victog can do that to me, then I think he's got this place in good hands, and he kind of stands up,
But
he flexes
young-
out. Oh, sorry.
young Wanai, we could use your help at the hearing that is coming up. We could use all of the support we can get, and especially if you're associated with other. Well, you look like heroes. I assume you are.
Yeah, heroes.
Yeah. For hire.
Are you talking about the hearing for the Witch of the Red Waste? What hearing
No.
do you mean?
Our hearing. I suppose you didn't have time to hear our tale before you and young Victog got into the ring. So as you've seen, we're building a community here in Erebus, and it's been difficult, but we've really put down roots here, and well, it's finally time for us to go before the Council of Elders and make our case to be formally admitted into the Republic.
Damn,
We've even-
portal nation state.
We've even had some of our number start to learn a bit of spell casting. But
Ooh, I don't like that.
Not to play into the stereotype, but we are a bit slow to learn.
I think in like
Quinn
True.
leaves the room. He says this.
I think in like true anime style, you just see like Vera's head turn towards Wanai in like 180 degrees with like the biggest Machiavellian smile like imaginable. And I think she's like, which is like nothing more than adding people to their conclave, Wanai. And it's just like gleefully looking and says, she turns to the elder and she says, would you happen to know which members are seated on the Council of Elders at this
Which
time?
witches, if you will.
Which witches?
Wow. Well, there's one from each of the 7. What did I call them? It's not tribes. That's a little much. Each of the 7 member species elects a primus, a council elder who represents them in dictating the movements of the republic. So, there's a human and an elf and a gorgon and a naga and a lamia and a yuan-ti and what am I missing?
And elf, human, gorgon, naga, lamia,
Vampire.
yuan-ti, turtle. Turtle would be the last of
No.
that species, but not.
Capadra.
Conveniently, Capadra. Yeah.
Tiefling.
Tiefling. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And I think so. Vera says, and who is the current elder for Pyrus or for the Gorgons?
Nephra
Nephra.
is currently the leader. I think she's been the leader for some time.
She has.
How could we possibly help?
Well, I think that the council will be looking to hear testimonials from people outside of our collective bale, and any support that we can garner would be appreciated. But if you maybe could speak to some of these elders and perhaps convince them to vote in our favor, we would be most grateful.
Are they close by?
Well, they will be gathering
At the gathering, yeah.
Trisals. I think that right now they're all in their separate nations, in their homes.
Oh, you mentioned it. It's going to be in Trisalis.
Yes, in 3 days.
Would you mind if I spoke with my fellow beasts?
Of course.
Hey.
Of course. Are you feeling better, young Wanai?
No.
She rests a hand on your shoulder. Victog can be a bit headstrong, but he's
fist strong too.
He has done a lot for our fledgling little nation, and I think that whatever strife you have between you is, I would say, less important than our collection as a whole.
He is headstrong. He'll take you on. Headstrong. He'll take on anyone.
Anyone. But I will leave you and your group to talk. Thank you.
I understand your words. I appreciate them. Boys,
She leaves.
Seems sort of convenient. Is everything happening?
We've actually been lucky. A lot of things have worked out really conveniently. Like when we randomly picked the one place someone mentioned, and it happened to be the place where all of their problems were solved in the last continent. So like I think we can trust that Providence is on our side.
I like feeling lucky.
I don't mean
Did
to
you take a
burden.
feat that lets you acquire a superpower Michael?
I did not. I did not have fourth wall breaking.
Because
So
fourth wall breaking is a super feat.
you're right.
I need you to tone that
It's
down.
a super feat.
I don't mean to impose on you guys. Clearly they could use some help, but I don't mean to direct us to one thing. The children are safe, and that's what my goal was, and that's really what I'm happy with that.
But-
and
What?
But are they?
they
They're
seem
safe. They're safe in
Ye-
the sense that you've brought them among their people, but what now? Your people are not formally recognized as a member of the Republic, therefore they do not have a state of their own. By your own admission previously, they've been cast aside or ripped apart through one means or another. So would it not be in your best interest to make sure that they can grow up in a stable, well, not in a stable, that's for horses, but in a
Minotaurs
stable
too.
environment? Sorry, Manny, that was offensive. Would it not make sense to try to make sure that they have a guaranteed place to call home and grow in a sheltered upbringing?
Yeah, so when I like kind of hears you, listens, but then like sort of looks down at the ground and like kind of kicks around some dust, and I don't know what use I'll be. I couldn't even stop Victog from pummeling me again.
Ooh.
God's sake, man! You know he had plot armor. That's not worth anything. Against any real enemies, you've held up your own. I have seen you single-handedly save us so many times. I've seen you drop into a pit, fighting for the survival of other turtles in the middle of a gladiatorial ring.
Yeah, something like
that.
That is no small feat, and I think you should take more pride in the strength that you have. But we can't
So it's
force you if you think your job is done.
It's just also unlikely that any of the leaders of these groups are going to challenge you to a fist fight. So I think you're probably pretty safe.
I guess I did do that. Okay.
I mean, maybe. I mean,
And
who knows? Like, might be some scrappy Nagas out there, but
You know, I think
I think-
politics was better when it was handled over a fist fight.
In the ring.
Yeah, but I have always
pistols.
wanted to try my hand. There ain't no better grifter than a politician.
That's true. I think I will say I don't think it will be easy. I mean, take it from me, my people are notoriously insular, notoriously protective, and notoriously, I wouldn't say bigoted, but they are hard to it's hard for them to open up and trust. And that's before you even get to the elves, who are just the worst.
just
Really,
full-blown racists.
Just the worst.
Just absolutely just. And the seat of power is in their city. So I don't think this campaign will be easy, but I think your perspective as someone who has saved young, has freed others, and has stood up to the tyranny of other countries will play well for the value of the turtles in Ereabus. So I think it's worth considering.
I just want to say, if there's two things I hate in the world, it's people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and elves.
I don't think I've met an elf, but you guys don't. They sound a lot like witches.
Manny, it's amazing how well you're going to fit into this entire arc of the story. So you're made for politics.
Well,
I think
I think I'm in
Oh,
agreement with you
go ahead.
guys. I'm in agreement. We should do what we can. That is what that is the point of us, isn't it? To help where we can and to try to do what's right for the world, for Hebria.
Well, really, the point of us is to piss other people off and do what we think is right. So yeah, I mean, mainly that's kind of our creed.
Oh, was there an avian?
So can I get you in this airship and then take you higher, or is it?
Can you take? Was there an avian represented at the council?
No.
No.
And
no bird races in this
Good.
country.
We got to make sure those birds don't get into this republic too.
No country for
People are so bigoted around
No,
here. Fuck those birds.
no. I was gonna say no country for old Ren.
Or hen.
Or hen,
Both good.
So I think Vera, like, will let you all kind of talk and is gonna go over to the leader of the, this bail. And I forgot what their name was. It was
Nurkella.
Michaela. And she says, actually, is there a title? What do you call the leader of a bail? Is there like an honorific, or like a?
Yeah.
I think you actually used it last time.
Yeah.
No, there is. Hold on.
You're
Oh,
Kaomato.
no, I did not make
Norkella.
one. I didn't make a. It was just the
That's
leader.
okay. I mean, let's make
Nope.
one up now. What do you think
Build
you
the
would
world
would title?
together.
Senator? Senator?
No,
We did say senator.
I
That's
like
what it's a joke.
Senator.
I mean,
I'm
it
not
would
against
probably
that. I think it sounds cool.
It'd probably be something earthy, something
Turtles are part of the Testidine order of animals.
So the testy of
testes,
the of the bail.
let's not
Testes of the
have
bail.
it be.
The Baylor.
I think like
The baby.
I think no, I did say bailiff last time, but I was
Yeah, Baylor.
I think it'd be cool if there were like either something to do with like, being a protector or something, or like a navigator, right? If you're like
Like a
looking
Voyager
out,
kind of. Yeah.
What about
like
provider
you're the voyage of your clan.
Or the
provider.
guide.
Yeah.
or
The
guy?
guide.
Yeah.
I kind of like guide. Yeah.
Cool. Guide. I think guide is great. Guide is good.
Well
So
Where's the guide?
she, so I think she'll go up and she'll say, guide. You mentioned that members of your group had started spellcasting. Could you tell me a little bit more about, first of all, what kind of spellcasting, and second of all, how you are teaching yourselves or where you are learning from? Perhaps I could be of assistance as a spellcaster myself.
Yes, of course. Let me grab token here. What is her name? I think it's Eliza. This turtle female. Enlarged for detail.
Cool.
She's not huge.
Oh my gosh, she's huge.
She's bigger than Big Dan Blastoise.
She comes up. And stops and bows her head. This is our most prominent spellcaster thus far. This is Eliza. Eliza, this is... I didn't catch your name.
Vera of Paris.
This is Vera of Paris, the island that we're on.
Oh no, Paris,
And-
Texas. Sorry.
Easy mistake.
Eliza bows and says, "Pleasure to meet you."
And to you. I hear you're becoming quite proficient in magic. I'm wondering if you could, or in spellcasting. I'm wondering if you could tell me a bit more, as I know that's not usually native to your species.
Well, it is funny that you should mention. We have been very fortunate, at least those of us who consider ourselves initiates. We have been very fortunate to receive instruction from some of your kind. There have been several Gorgons who they've not only welcomed us to this island, but have taught some of us the ways of spellcraft.
And are you channeling that power through objects or through the elements? How are you? What have you found to be the most natural for you?
Well, some of our initial instruction has been uh, the more studious bookly type, just sort of standard magical practice. But many of us have found a lot more ease in some of the more elemental magics and sort of more
course.
communing with nature in that regard.
Speaking of
Mm.
magic, I would like to ritual cast Detect Magic.
They're all
Okay.
just fireballing all
We'll
over
see.
the
We'll
place.
see you in 10 minutes.
Thanks.
That's how rituals work, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. I can continue a conversation for 10 minutes. That's fine. Easy.
It's called the
Um,
filibuster. We're doing politics this arc.
Gotta practice now. Yeah.
I think Vera, can I maybe while our group kind of lets when I get patched up and like talk to the guide and like kind of
Yeah, there's one thing I'd like
re-ingratiate
to do,
himself a
but
little bit.
do your thing.
Yeah. So maybe while that's happening, can I basically say to them, well, Eliza, as somebody who's from this island and is on a campaign to help make sure that you can remain on these lands and a practicer of magic myself, hopefully you would not mind me observing a bit of how your studies are coming along, and perhaps I can even help you become even more familiar. I think it would only help serve the value of your people to the council if you can speak to the way that the lands themselves have served you. And I'd like to spend some time like observing, but also helping guide them a little bit on their magical practices. But I kind of want to get a sense of like, how are they picking this up? Where are they picking this up from? What are they familiar with? And maybe like what are they being taught specifically from other Gorgons or other members of the island?
Sure. Yeah, so she'll lead you over to this building here.
Sure.
And there you can see there's sort of like a not like a temple room, but like a classroom slash like training area. And you can see some of the pretty standard wizard tomes stacked on a shelf at the far end of the room. But in the middle of the room is like a pool of water, and then there are a bunch of plants kind of scattered about. And you can see there's probably 6 or 7 turtles in here that are sort of practicing um, what you would probably recognize as like earthcraft. They're trying to like manipulate the water. They're trying to manipulate the plants. Some of them are like trying to do stuff with the sand itself from the beach. So this looks like they're trying to become druids, or that they feel more attuned to druid craft.
Yeah, I think like having observed that, can I roll an arcana to see if I can notice if there's maybe to single out if a member of this group, I hate to say this way, but like is maybe more
Good.
emotional than the others,
Evil?
or no, meaning like is more prone to dictating with their emotions as opposed to like the calmness of nature. Basically, I'm trying to find somebody that maybe is more similar to Vera, who like maybe channels energy in a specific way, as
We can
opposed to like
curse with a horrible scythe that we have with us.
no. Well, you're reading my mind.
Well.
You're reading my mind a little bit. You're reading my
Okay.
mind a little bit, but I'm trying to see if there's maybe like someone who's
Someone
maybe a
kindred.
more of a warrior type than just a druidic or clerical type, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's going to be more of an insight roll than
Sure.
Arcana. But yeah, I got my DC set if you want to roll that.
Yeah, I just want to see. I want to see who's out there. I'm scoping. I'm seeing where the talent
Sure.
lies.
Sure.
He's recruiting.
Insight, right? Not at the 7.
Oh.
It's not gonna do it.
See if
So
I
as
help.
you see these turtles practice, you kind of note that like very similar to what Nurkella said, like they all seem pretty new at this.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
you get the sense just like from being a spellcaster yourself that Eliza truly is the most adept at spellcraft. But
Yeah.
just based on the way that that all of these folks are carrying themselves, you can tell that in D&D terms, like they might be like first level druids, but they also already have like levels in fighter or barb or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think having sat with them for, I don't know, let's say 10 minutes, and observed their their sorry, it took y'all a minute.
That was good.
And then to like see them doing this, I think she kind of, whether wittingly or not, like is kind of like, okay, maybe this is not exactly what I'm looking for, but I think she turns to Eliza and says, you know, thank you for showing me, and it's amazing to see that they're already picking up aspects so quickly, although it's clear that they've had training in other domains first. I only reached my powers from a moment of desperation, which is not what I would want for anyone else. I think the way that you are approaching it is much more sensible. But don't forget, if push comes to shove, magic and spellcasting is not a power to run away from. In fact, it may be the very thing that you need and that your people need. But I'll be around for a while still, so if you have any questions, please come to me. And I think she'll leave them and go back to the group.
At the very end of that, can when I come and just like put both my hands on your shoulders, just like behind you, like kind of like just
Jeff
stand
Goldblum
behind
style.
you and say, "Hey,
What are you
you've
doing?
met Eliza." Yeah, kind of like, "Hey, friend, let's go this way."
Oh,
I
when
would-
I've just given her a pamphlet about the teachings, the wonderful teachings of Cathar.
That's
Uh,
great.
Greg,
yeah, I
I
think
really thought you were gonna say the line like, just remember that there are other methods of spellcraft that the Gorgons might find unconventional.
little column A, little column B. But yeah, I think that's cool. She wanted to just kind of get a sense of what they were doing. So
Yeah.
I'm back with the group.
Quinn, your
Yes.
ritual has completed. You are now detecting magic.
So I get to know the school of magic. And while it's not technically a school, there's a split between divine magic and arcane magic. And druids are divine magic, which is so are paladins and clerics and stuff. Can I see if anyone is doing arcane magic? Which is like warlocks, sorcerers, wizards?
Hmm.
Rules as written, it's not like super clear.
Yeah. I think that hmm. Let me think about that.
But like it logically to me would make sense that you would be able to.
You'd
Yeah.
be able to discern if people are doing the different
kind,
schools.
Yeah, because like
yeah.
divine magic is like very orderly, where like arcane is like wild and has to be tamed.
Kind of with evocation as well. And
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, that's the waters become definitely muddied when we consider how the gods in this world operate.
I know.
You don't have
Let's just not consider that.
I guess can I see is anyone an easier question? Is anyone doing like a different kind of magic? Like they're doing druid craft, probably like evocation, transmutation stuff. Like, is anyone doing like illusion magic or like something else?
some outlier.
Yeah, I think that you might pick up on like maybe one of the initiates like practicing a more arcane spell like from a book that was taught to them by their Gorgon teacher when they were here. But for the most part, they are all within the same kind of druidly school.
Okay. That was mostly just out of curiosity if like portals can only do it or if it's like if it can be taught. Do I see anything else magical?
Let me think about that.
So you might. One thing I think he would notice is that Manny probably sees someone struggling a little bit, and kind of goes over and like points out what they're doing. It's like, oh no, like you're moving your hands this way, but I think like if you say it more like this, it'll work. And he casts guidance on him, and you would notice very druidic magic coming from Manny.
Hey Manny, I meant to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When did you learn how to do that?
What do you mean? Do what?
Manny is also like probably glowing just from like the sword.
Yeah.
Horribly cursed. Yeah, just so bright.
Well, I mean, you just cast the spell.
Oh no, I mean I showed him how to do it, but I just I just kind of you got to do what's natural, right? Like that's how magic works, right?
Well, no, but I'm gonna explain this using minor illusion.
In the beginning.
I've never seen someone make a PowerPoint with minor illusion.
No, when someone casts a spell, it looks a little bit like this through divine magic. Poof. Do like a spell effect.
Uh-huh.
And when you just after you explained it and you touched him, you did that effect.
Oh. Huh. I mean, I guess I felt a little different lately, but I guess I just felt like a little more like in tune with myself. I don't really know. I guess now you mention it, I felt a little more at peace maybe with some of my animal instincts. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't really know.
I mean, do you think it affects your ability to change? I mean, I know you couldn't control it before, but
I do feel better. I mean, like I know when I can bring it out. It's not as scary anymore. I mean, I guess maybe that it's been useful has made it a little easier to get behind. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was hoping while we're here I could talk to some witches and see if there's a way to maybe undo my curse. But I mean, at the same time, I know we have a lot of adventure ahead of us, and I don't want to take away the one thing that makes me helpful. So I don't know.
your curse is what use your rage power, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
turning into a horrible monster every time we fight. Yeah.
I don't know if Quinn knows that that's a curse. I don't know if you ever mentioned it as a curse before.
I don't think he's mentioned it at all.
I think he probably would have. I mean, we got a little to it, but he's literally was exiled from his like herd because he turns into a horrible monster when he gets angry. So pretty curse-like from a social standpoint. For
that's
him.
true.
Useful as hell, but
well,
not
man,
great.
I mean, I certainly think that your gifts are mighty useful, and I think if you really hone this, it'd be really something special. Anyway, was that other turtle? Were they cheating?
No, he's just really bad. The guy really is terrible.
The turtle that fought Wanai, was he cheating? Does he have magical aura?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good
He's
GM question.
asking you, Anthony.
I'm asking.
Who are you asking?
I'm asking you, Anthony. TikTok's
not here though, is he?
Victog. Does Victog
I go
have
outside.
aura?
That's the real reason I wanted to cast Detect Magic.
Oh. No.
Damn.
It's just a early ass turtle.
Yeah. He's just strong.
Oh.
What are you doing while these three are checking out the spellcasting troop?
I'm gonna head over to Charcy and retrieve my tide collar and my shield.
Yeah.
Hey, Charcy.
Hey there, Kaimile.
Been a while.
It's been some time. It seems like you found yourself a pretty fine blade out there.
Yeah, thank you. It was guarded by this large shellfish. We set it. We set him free.
So horny.
Hmm.
He was very aroused. Anyway, a couple things. Have you ever seen a blade like this? And I'll bring out the Blade of the Deep, the metallurgist longsword. Have you ever seen something like this?
May I?
Yeah, please be careful.
He takes it and he looks it over and he does the Aragorn and the Two Towers thing where he just kind of like wings it around. It's a very fine blade, but I haven't seen its like. This is a magical weapon?
Um, I can't necessarily confirm that. We found this in Karkarum. Um, deep
Oh.
in deep in the underbelly of a metallurgist laboratory, or what seemed to be some kind of place where they were doing terrible things. That's where I found some of the children and some of the turtle eggs. But okay, I I appreciate the insight. I just was curious. I know you've crafted many blade, and I just wanted to see if this looks any kind of familiar. If you knew anything about this kind of um artificery,
Artifice.
artif any kind of artifice of this kind.
Now I'm not one of those young initiates. I'm not a spellcaster, but me just being an old blacksmith, I can feel the magic in this blade you have.
Okay, good to know. One more question. My shield. I've been getting hit a little bit lately. Do you have any way to improve this?
May I?
Absolutely.
Can you describe your shield for me again?
It is a shield. Literally, unfortunately, 5e doesn't have fanciful shield. It's sort of a medium shield. I like to think it's shaped like a teardrop. Round at the top, sort of fine point at the bottom. Not super heavy, but it's not a small shield. It's sort of a medium shield. Wooden metal.
Yeah. Why don't you let me take a look at this for a little while and I'll see what I can do.
Please, I would appreciate it.
Now, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
And part of me kind of wishes now that I didn't know the origin of this sword here, but in your travels, have you encountered other objects like this?
Yes.
Just sort of imbued with magic that makes them powerful?
So many in that, like it's so close to us right now.
A handful, yes. Yep.
Look, I'll be blunt. The students of ours, the initiates that are trying to form a spellcasting class, they're trying their best, but they suck.
Oh. Okay.
And if you had any sort of magical objects that could help sort of not help them cheat, but to help boost their learning, their understanding, help them just sort of get it better, you know?
Thus began the great turtle doping scam.
Yeah. So, well, like mentioned, I did find this in sort of a, well, the place wasn't right. There was sort of evil things happening there, and a very dark presence in the basement. I'd be more than willing to maybe maybe help out, but I worry what this could possibly do to the young. I don't know. I haven't wielded it. I don't know what it. I might be able to know. I know someone who's a little bit more well versed than me in weapons like this. Can I hang tight? And I'll go get.
Of course, I'm just an old man. I don't know much about magic and whether it's good or bad. I want to help those young ones. I've seen them against the initiates from the Gorgon spellcasting schools, and it's just no contest.
Yeah. I clearly Weeknight doesn't know much about magic either, so I'd like to go get.
You're not an authority on the subject?
I'm not an authority. I'd like to get Vera and Quinn and Manny as well.
Manny, known spellcaster.
Guys, the blacksmith Charcy, known him for a long time. He's telling me that the training is going pretty poorly, and when the turtles are going up against the gorgons and others with magic type armaments, that they're failing horribly, and he's sort of curious if he can have these. And I point to the blade of the deep, the carbon axe, the iron flame, those things. Or sorry, no, I don't point to the gun. I know.
Yeah, that one's not.
I'm not pointing at the gun. The three that we're not using, because nobody was using them as far as I remember. We were just carrying them around.
Correct.
No one was wielding them other than the gun.
It was a.
Vera can't touch them.
Was it a long sword?
Yeah, that's the blade of the deep. There's the blade of the deep, the carbon axe, and the dark scythe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think that might be a terrible idea to give a bunch of people who don't have any magical experience these horribly powerful items. No,
I kind of think the same thing. Is there anything else we can help them with?
I do have a flaming greatsword that is magical. And not cursed.
Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Who knows?
I have so many great swords.
Yeah,
maybe it's time for a curse.
Do you know how to curse a real sword?
Yeah. I think Vera says, when I feel for the plight of those who are trying to find a place in the world and a place they can defend, but I would not turn to these instruments unless they were very well versed in knowing how to protect themselves, or that there were no other choice. I think perhaps for this group, politics is the best way for them to find a sense of security and belonging. I worry that giving them powerful magical artifacts could not only harm them, but damage the possibility of being accepted if they were seen as dangerous or uncontrolled. But perhaps we see how this plays out on Trisalis first, and if we feel that they will be cast out on their own, perhaps at that point I would feel more comfortable giving them something to defend themselves with. But I share the same reservations, I think.
Anthony, I know it's a little past, but could I actually make an insight check just to see if Charcy is looking out for the best interest, or just, has gold in his eyes and sees something that looks terrifying, or maybe is even almost being persuaded by the item itself, in a sense.
You should sell a bardic inspiration too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to. Okay.
Oh. Oh.
On a one.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm gonna use my inspiration and re-roll that.
I care about my 24 then.
I care about my people.
Yeah, so we can take the 24 then.
Okay, yeah, I'll burn it.
what he says rings true, and you can tell that his intention is just to help bolster the spellcasting learning of the initiates. He's not trying to. He doesn't have a dark plan or any kind of greed to it. He genuinely wants to help. He doesn't know about magic. He doesn't know if that's a bad idea or not.
Okay. Well, Manny or Quinn, do you want to say anything to Wanai about it, or is what Vera said good?
Manny's
You're
of the same
Wanai.
mind. Yeah, Manny's of the same mind that I think it's probably a little dangerous.
I don't know, you guys. These weapons do seem pretty sweet.
I don't know. Longswords don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah, exactly. I've never
That's
never heard anything mysterious from my rifle.
Charcy,
Cathar doesn't kill people. I kill people with Cathar. It's completely different.
I trust in my friend Vera here, and I think that I think we should wait until the outcome of the meet, and if you're part of the Republic and the Republic says you can't have these things, well then, if you already have them, that could be a problem. But I do have.
It seems like y'all know best on that. I'll let me just take your shield for a couple of days, and I'll give it back to you even better.
I do have this disc of material, however,
I also have one.
that I don't know if you could use it. The dark
Did you bring those? Did you leave them on the ship?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No,
I have it on me.
On the character
I'm
sheet.
carrying it.
Fascinating.
I can carry a lot.
Wow, this is. He kind of like feels it like a blacksmith would.
Sure. Yeah. Appraises it in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me play around with this.
Okay.
Also,
give
like
it
a frisbee.
How about
Sick.
how about a second one?
He tosses it not like a frisbee, like a
Like a pizza.
pizza crust.
Oh no. I was gonna say I'm like halfway across the island and I just like like a disc. Does a good hyzer and lands right in his spot.
Quinn is also gonna leave his with him. I've been carrying this around for too long.
It's heavy.
It's
is
half my carrying capacity.
It is solid metal.
All right. Yep. So I'm getting rid of that 40-pound disc. Okay.
All right, yeah, you guys are now 80 pounds lighter. Is there anything else that you want to do here with the bale?
I'm good.
Okay. How would you like to
You-
proceed? If you want to pull out the map, um,
Oh.
you can go back
The
to your
map.
airship, or you can proceed on foot through
Yeah,
Paris.
I think I mean, just if it's okay with the group, we'll probably just take I think we need to decide what we do with the Capadra, but I think we'll take the two Gorgons with us just to the capital, because even though I met them on Paris, like, they should be able to decide where they want to go and what they want to do within Ariabis. So, like, they'll just kind of come along for that part of it, and we've taken care of the eggs and the turtles, so we just have to decide what to do with the Capadras, I guess. from,
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's also it's not just the Capadras, but also our young ward.
Well, yeah, but I'm just assuming he's coming with us no matter what.
Well, but no, I mean that is a question, right? Because like, okay, do we leave the Capadra alone on an airship?
I guess I mean more like on our way to our next destination. Like,
I mean, does it make sense? Could we ask the group here to look after the Capadra since they have the ability to take care of young? Just while
If
we're
you're okay
in
with that,
town.
Manny,
I kinda like
they're
that idea.
Yeah, I like
they're
that.
your charge. They're
They're-
your
they
orphans.
are your
We all
charge.
have
They're my
orphans.
orphans.
We all got our orphans to bear.
except for Quinn.
13
Quinn has
orphans?
That one down.
orphans.
Eternal Bachelor Quinn has no orphans
Nuh-uh.
to take care of. Yeah.
I do think that so Manny doesn't feel comfortable bringing them into places that could get in battle. So leaving them with the turtles, if they're willing, would be, I think, the smartest thing to make sure that they're looked after, and we know where they are. We know they're safe. So
Yeah, we could always
Yeah.
come back and pick them up, I guess. Yeah.
Sure.
Before we leave, this may be an insensitive question. Do turtles shed their shells?
do turtles shed their shells,
I
Joe?
don't think turtles do.
I don't
no.
think they do either, but it's just a question.
No.
Thinking of,
They
you're
grow
thinking of
they
fruit
grow their
crab.
bone.
Okay.
I was actually gonna ask. That's funny that you mentioned that, Joe. 'Cause I was gonna ask Vera if her snakes shed
Oop.
their, their own
Their
skins
skin?
or whatever.
Yeah.
Do they molt?
I can't
Yeah,
believe
do
you'd
they
asked
molt?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah,
would, but
snakes
head
shed
and
their skin.
Head and Shoulders takes care of that. Um, how well supplied is this village? Like, if I wanted to buy like more mundane items, would I be able to?
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
I would say so.
Or
Like,
potions.
well,
No, not potions, but like
But
more mundane items. Yes.
You said they healed me with potions.
You use
Yeah,
them
they
all
just
up.
brew those.
They used them all up. Dang
They
it.
had to brew those for you.
Oh, okay.
like, cause there might be a heist coming up, so I feel like I should buy some heist equipment.
Get a medium
Sure.
kit going.
Get like maybe some
Medium
black
load.
powder, some extra rope. I was gonna do turtle disguises, but if they don't sell, if there's no way for them to sell old shells, probably hard for us to dress up as turtles.
That would be a carcass
Yeah,
that you'd be wearing.
yeah, I know. I abandoned that plan.
Can
I don't know, I
say something, but that would have been a spoiler for something else.
trying to think of any other general heist equipment. Do they have sending stones here?
No, that's a pretty specialized
I
thing.
figured.
Yeah, you can get rope. 50 feet of rope is 10 gold.
God damn.
Oh, sorry, that's silk rope. Hempen rope is 1
Okay.
for 50 feet.
I think
I don't have black powder in my.
I don't
book.
think it's.
I would say one gold for a handful.
Oh yeah, black powder's technically not like
It's
a
not
real
like
thing.
spec'd out.
No, I don't think it. Like firearms are like weird to have. We have them, but in normal 5e rules, there's
Sorry.
not a lot of firearms.
Yeah.
It's not a common thing.
Right.
Blasting gel? That's in
He just wants some C4, Anthony.
Just one gold for a fist-sized amount of black powder.
Pathfinder. Okay. I will.
Oh, there is gunpowder kegs and a powder horn. 35 gold for 2 pounds of. It's a powder horn of gunpowder.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought there was.
That's what I'm charging.
Okay.
A whole horn.
Do we have
Wow.
party funds that I can?
We do have some.
We have 1,000 total.
Yeah.
1,300 general party funds.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna buy 200 feet of rope. Did it have the price for the keg of gunpowder?
Yeah, it's expensive. It's 250 GP for 20 pounds of the keg of gunpowder. You can buy a bomb for 150 GP.
And you can make your own for free.
Can I make
gonna
my own
need some.
bombs?
There is
No.
dynamite, there's bombs, grenades, there's all that stuff. It is.
I think that this shop would
Only have
possibly
powder.
have powder. They don't make bombs.
I'll get
I know they have a
two. I'll
keg.
get 2 powder horns.
Okay. For 70 gold.
Yeah,
70. Okay.
so that's 72
Oh.
gold total, or 73 because I bought 150 feet of rope,
73.
You said 200.
or 200. Yeah, right. Sorry, 74.
74.
Gi-
Okay.
give me 250. We'll make it even 75.
Perfect. A nice even number. 75.
Actually, okay. 74 would be better for my number, but it's fine.
Okay, 74. 200 feet of rope is probably fine.
The building is 250 feet high.
So we no longer have any turtle eggs. If that's correct.
Yep.
Okay.
When you make your way back to the airship, Sevi runs out to you. You guys, something weird happened.
Uh-oh.
So all those the teens, the Capadra, they ran away.
Son of Sevi. Sevi, you were supposed to be looking after them.
They're slippery teens.
Also, technically, I think it was Snips' job.
Snips shrugs.
People didn't do anything.
They both
No,
point at each other.
They said that they heard a song. And I couldn't stop them. They jumped off the ship and dove into the ocean.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Banny listens for a song. Can I roll
Same.
something for this?
I'll help him. I'll help him listen.
Sure.
What would I roll? Nature?
Perception, right?
Perception.
Perception to hear a song, but you can roll nature as well
Understand what that might be.
to understand what that might be.
Okay, I'll first do perception. 21.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Anthony did not want you
Has
to
it-
roll well.
Has
there.
it been 10 minutes
Since what?
since my ritual finished?
Yeah, because you
Okay.
went to the store.
Then I'll do a perception. Okay.
Okay. Manny, you on a 21. On a 21, you cannot hear anything.
Interesting.
Okay. I will do then a nature check to see if I
Yeah.
know what this might be.
And I'll have you make the nature check with advantage.
Thank you. I got an 18.
Great. Capadra are a fairly musical race, and they might be able to hear songs that you might not.
Mhm.
It could be like in the waves, in the trees, kind of like an ethereal thing.
Mhm.
So this doesn't seem like it might necessarily be like a bad thing.
Yeah. So hopefully it's a song coming from a trusted source, and they didn't just go, to the first stranger offering candy sort of scenario. But I mean, this could be good. They can hear songs we can't hear, guys. So maybe it's okay, or we just lost a bunch of teens.
They're
On an
teens.
18, you also know that Capadra are drawn to sources of water.
Yeah.
And if these are like seaborn Capadra, like this would also be their home.
Well, I think that solves that problem. Shall
Yeah,
we?
good job, Snips. Well done.
Not Sevi, only Snips.
Manny, I remember you were the only one that had that conversation with the Kapaja at the beginning when it was like they'll
Yes.
help out in a time of need or something like that. Is it worth trying to like
There
roll
was never
anything?
a promise of help in time of need.
No, well, we don't know. We don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Like you were the only person. So what I'm saying is it worth trying to do any kind of role in association to that conversation to be like whether something has been resolved or whether there's a double meaning that we should know, like before we just like up and leave? Is there anything that we need to resolve there?
Yeah,
or like that
we can ask
should?
Anthony. I mean, so that conversation got me a blessing. That's what
Yes.
that was, because we kind of faded to black because we didn't know what the power was. So I've used that, and I actually don't know. I spent a lot of that calming these kids down so we didn't murder them.
Totally. I'm just. I
So
guess
yeah,
my point is more
that's a
like.
question for Anthony. Like, is there some? Yeah, is
Yeah.
there something am I perhaps no longer bound to the Capadra, or what is there? Is there something I would be
I
aware
guess
of?
the
Or
point I was trying to make, Anthony, is like, would the conversation with the Capadra and the idea of a blessing, would this give Manny the understanding of like, I have fulfilled a like part of a bargain or a part of a conversation has ended that would make him be like, it's cool that we leave the Capadra because of my relationship with them? Or is this like, we need to investigate this further because like basically can he use his relationship to the Capadra, given that he's helped them in the past, to determine whether this is the best outcome for this pod?
I think Anthony's trying to say that
I thought his
basically.
nature
is.
check solved that. Yeah.
Listen, he's a wily DM. I don't know. Maybe he's leading
That's
us down
true.
another.
There's no
you know,
lying in
another path.
D&D, Greg.
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
trying to. I'm not trying to angle shoot here. No.
okay, cool. Well, then I think we're good. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that makes sense then.
As,
Easy.
as Quinn says, that one's wrapped up nicely.
So
put
so
a,
do
put
you
a
say
bow
that a
on
lot.
it. Put a bow on it and
so
let's
when
show
I
off.
did your two turtle teens stay at the village then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same with
Okay,
the
cool.
eggs.
No,
So
no, he
basically we've only
kidnapped
got
them.
so basically
Sure.
we've only got our two gorgons then left of
Yeah.
of this entire
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Great, and we know we're going
Otherwise,
to take them to
otherwise
the
you're empty nesters.
Great. Well, then I think we should probably
Go on a
head over.
cruise.
Yeah, we should cruise. I don't know what else. I don't know. And I think like
Turn
maybe as
those,
we're
turn those pineapples upside down.
That's good.
Anthony, did Charcy give me a shield to use in the interim or nah?
He did not.
Okay.
You want to borrow mine? I have a two-handed weapon.
Please.
I hand you my shield. I've just been
Describe
bragging
your shield, Michael.
Manny's shield is in terrible condition. It is covered in Minotaur grease.
Oh, no.
Smudge.
Hold it.
oh no.
It's
That could be
burned.
helpful.
It could be. It is slippery. Annoyingly, it is. Yeah, it is burned, charred. It's like one of those like kite shields. But it was like clearly picked up on some like random adventure from someone who like had died before. It's dented. It's like maybe a hole in it. It's terrible, terrible condition.
Does it still function as a shield?
Yes,
It still functions as a shield.
Great.
all flavor mess.
I'm gonna
Yep.
write down all that flavor.
Love it.
Manny's greasy shield.
that that does follow the naming conventions of spells in D&D.
Yeah, Manny's greasy
That's
shield.
true.
Did we have the conversation with Sevi about the letter we received last time?
You did not. You received the letter after you disembarked from the ship, and you have not been back since.
Okay.
Would you like to board the ship?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all for boarding and heading off to where we need to go.
Look at those teens.
Oh God, let me get rid of all
Delete
these
some teens.
freaking teens. Get out my life. Okay, we got two 20-year-old Gorgons.
No teens allowed.
Since you guys are now on your airship, you're no longer transporting a whole host of youths, and you're not trying to escape from the place where you stole this ship. I finally am going to put my foot down and ask, whose room is whose?
Oh. We have 3 rooms for 4 characters.
Correct.
And actually, not even that. Well, Sevi, does Sevi sleep?
I think we decided that Sevi does sleep. And then you've also got 2 guests.
Are they bunk beds?
No.
Vera, absolutely requires a room of her own. Otherwise, she'll turn people to stone, or at least that's what she says. Because
Mhm.
she might open her eyes in her sleep accidentally and cast it.
She sleep
So
transmutes.
I think she said that the first time they met, and they've never questioned it, and so she just always has a room because they're afraid. So I think Vera's got the room on the left, and that is she came in and said that's my room, and that's hers.
Very good.
It's really for your own safety. I mean, I would hate for that to happen.
Remind me,
we can
Anthony.
we can wait for Nick to come
I
back.
just want to. This is like a closet.
That is a storage area. Yes.
Okay, what's in it roughly?
Nothing.
Previously, teens.
Yeah, now that is
Previously teens.
making it teens. I think so.
Stains.
Manny,
no.
oh, God.
Gross.
I do think Manny would actually view this as like he's like, oh, there's so much space in here, and like Snips can come hang out. So like, I think
More
Manny
like,
actually.
More like compadre, am I right?
Oh no! Oh, I don't like the
say that.
implications. But he and Snips might actually like make a little like he kind of like throws down some
little stable.
blankets and stables up in
Love
the
that.
room in the storage.
I love
area.
the idea that you have to truck reverse your way in and out of your stable room for it to, because you can't turn around fully inside. So you're just like,
Yeah.
No, it's pretty spacious.
So even though there is an extra room, every time Vera falls asleep, one eye goes in there and sleeps in his shell, like on the floor.
oh,
This is way too good of bed.
I was gonna say.
that's
Or go ahead.
that's nice. That's sweet.
Quinn
I-
also
I-
takes his
honestly,
own room.
I don't need my own room at all because I do sleep in my shell.
You have a house.
I
It's
have a
always
house.
with you.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then Seppi gets
I
the
love
other
the
one.
idea. Yeah, I was gonna say I love the idea we've made other people bunk and we have just an empty, unused room. That's like on our ship. That's very us. That's where we put all of our metal plates that we didn't leave with the blacksmith.
I would say for practicality purposes, they'd probably maybe hang like some makeshift hammocks in the other storage room, or in the storage room, so that the others could stand there too.
Yeah.
Sure.
If Travis was here, he'd teach you all how to bunk properly in a ship, but that's not the case.
Well, but Travis is Churst.
he is
Churst.
Churst.
Hammock in here or in here?
I would say like they could bunk in here. And Snips will.
Okay.
Yeah, they love snips.
Everyone loves Snips.
Who doesn't? Okay, let's go to the map. Let's figure out what we're doing. Let me put the airship down. Oh, nope, that's the big one. There it is. You are here.
That's where we are right now. Okay.
Correct.
And where?
So we've got
Oh, it's way over there.
we got I think it's six little nation states. 1, 2, 6.
And Trisalis is where they are.
Trisalis is in Thuvium, which is in the Elven.
Can
Yeah.
we check our sextant maps? Have we got?
I don't think we have any extras, right?
We have a point of interest. There's 2 points of interest on this continent.
Oh. Are there?
2?
Not 1, but 2?
Wait, were there any on the island we were on?
Yes, there is
Yes.
one. Sextant map 2.
Should have gone there.
Well, if we realize that
We haven't
we
left.
would. Yeah.
That's true.
We're on our ship.
I think we would check out our sextant
Yeah.
maps.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are prized possessions.
I
We
think,
got
I think-
3 days, so
and also like I'm from Paris, so I think Vera
Written down.
Right.
would feel like there's value in like seeing how her island is. having left a long time ago. So I think like that probably makes sense
Yeah.
to start there and see how we get on.
I was thinking as we're all they're getting like bunked up. When I just start some light reading and folds into the sextant map too, tucked between a couple pages. Oh, Vera, do you know where this place is? And points to like the one that's
Yeah.
on the same island.
I think there's a couple places it could be. I guess, do you want me to roll? I mean, it seems silly because it'd be in my character, but I and they won't know what it is that you have there. So I guess, how do you want to resolve that?
I do think Wenai knows where one of them is too. The one in the middle of the water.
What I'm saying is like, because I'm from here, I have points of interest from my character that are from here, but I don't know. Do you want me to read the map? I guess for Anthony, it's like, if we're talking about my own personal history, is that something I just know and can say, or do you want me to roll something to be like, I know where that is or what that's pointing to?
I'm not gonna have you roll because this is a pretty big X,
Yeah.
and you don't know where it is.
In that.
Okay.
Like
In
that's
that
a
region.
pretty populated area
Large
for the Gorgon
area.
Nation.
Yeah.
I don't think that you would be like, oh, of course it's this place.
Mm,
Like this is a world map pointing to one specific point
right.
on it.
I think I think Vera has a thought, like thinks for a minute and then says, there's a couple of things I can't, from the dimensions of the map, I couldn't tell you what specifically it's pointing at or where it is, but having grown up here, there are specific places that have meaning and significance. One thing that we could do is, although I've been exiled, we could go to my enclave and try to find information there. It seems a good place as any to start. Otherwise, we could maybe try our luck speaking to the Gorgons that have been helping out your people, and see what they think of it. But I do not know from sight where specifically this would be referencing.
I mean, I could disguise you again if we wanted to drop in on your homeland.
Well, the issue with that is that Gorgon nests are usually not really receptive to non-Gorgons, so it'd actually have to be a Gorgon to probably get an audience anyways.
Yeah, but you could be a different Gorgon.
I think perhaps if I brought Almira, is that her name? Who was my friend?
Oh, one of the other Gorgons.
Oh
was with
yeah.
us.
Yeah. I forgot. I think it was Almira.
I do not remember.
I think it's Almira. I think perhaps bringing Almira as somebody who can vouch for who I am and my character may not necessarily get me reintegrated into the nest, but may perhaps stop them from outright rejecting us on our approach.
I like that plan. Plus, I feel like I'm pretty good at talking my way into places. I think we'll be just fine.
I cannot wait to see how this turns out. If they're anything like me, and they are, you are going to have quite a go at it. Yeah.
What do you mean, Vera?
Yeah,
I think I'm mighty charming.
I think going to the enclave of Paris probably makes sense to start. If anything, just to be like, hey, what's up? I'm back. Second of all, here are some of your sisters who can decide if they want to stay here or go with us to the capital, and then try to find out some local information about the goings on. I think that's probably a good starting point. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you guys roll for flight when we're doing small kind of inner
regional travel.
This is regional travel. Thank you. That's exactly
Take the
what I
light
was
rail.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will fly to. It's kind of like What am I thinking of?
EasyJet, Ryanair.
No. Um, this is a dumb example. It's kind of like New York City, where the city is the same name as the state. This is like the city of Paris,
Yeah, sure. Right. Paris
but
City.
you're on the island of Paris. You
Paris,
get it.
Paris.
Yeah.
City's so
It's
nice
Paris,
they named
Paris.
it twice.
Exactly. um, you touch down outside of the city, kind of in the. Did you do a similar water landing? But Paris is a coastal city, and you'd make your way up into the thoroughfare of this absolutely lovely city. Um, the last time you were in like a city proper was in Styria, and I think we talked a lot about how Styria was in decline. There was not a lot of maintenance being done, and it definitely felt dated. This feels of a similar age, but has been very well maintained, and there's you just get like a good vibe from this city. Like the people here feel like they are part of a community.
Mm.
You see that there is sprawling architecture, and the population is almost uniformly Gorgon.
Yeah. I think is there like are we on like a main dock, or are we like above the city, like on a hill? Where would we
You
where
would
would make
touch
sense
down
for us?
in the water nearby, and you would
Yeah.
walk into the city.
Are there
Yeah, okay.
piers
Not
or
far.
anything, or
I think it would be a similar instance to the previous, where you just touch down on a beach.
On a
Okay.
on a cove. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think they
so I
have
think
like
we go there, and I think Vera says, right, who's up for a little expedition? All of us? Or was there anything else that you all want to do?
Oh, I'm always down for an expedition.
Great.
Yeah, I'm in. I'd like to possibly buy a potion or two while we're here, but
Well, you're in luck. The Gorgons and the witches among us are no strangers to concoctions and potions and crafting, so I'm sure you can find exactly what you need.
Ocean cellar.
should I
Yeah,
be
potion
scared?
cellar.
Should I be scared?
Always. The thing that I'll say is wear your goggles. Secondly, make sure that at least for the beginning, you stick with us three. And she's pointing to herself and the two Gorgons, and just says, visitors are not uncommon, but visitors without a Gorgon is frowned upon heavily. So you should be fine as long as you are with one of us. But
So they're very xenophobic here, is what you're saying.
we
I think
like
we
to say
established that.
we like to say more protective of our traditions and not trying to dilute the pool of the
It's really an
genome.
it's really an
Just kidding.
Arabis first kind of mentality.
No, I would say it's more that we have found the world around us to be openly hostile to our kind and have decided to be secluded. But I think now is as good a time as any to go to my old home. And I think she leads them towards, with the two Gorgons in tow, leads them to the enclave.
Can I use my disguise kit to have a Gorgon costume?
Oh man. Whatever,
Yes,
fuck
that's
it.
gonna
Fuck
be
it.
a
Fuck it. Just
a
do it. I
deception
don't care
check.
what happens to Quinn. It's fine.
Gosh,
This is
how do I
like
want to do this?
I mean, that's what disguise kits are for, really. Like,
It
what else?
is.
What's the point of him?
There are
But,
no
like-
male Gorgons, so this is gonna be a hell of a disguise kit.
You think
I
this is the
imagine
first
we're-
time?
I imagine that
Yeah.
we're on the ship and it's like we're all getting ready to go and Vera's just like, what's taking Quinn so long? And like goes and opens his door and he's got half of this like scaly like
Oh God, fuck it. I mean, I don't. The thing is, no matter what the outcome of this role is, it's still funny.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
I'm just trying to make sure, because, like, do we want Quinn to get canceled here? Because this is
Want?
basically tantamount to blackface.
this is like, how good is your blackface? Like this.
Oh
it's
shit,
not
you're
even
totally
this
right. I didn't even think
Right.
about that.
Jesus.
like that's what we're dealing with. Is like it's just is
Hmm.
that.
but
but
like,
how realistic
maybe
is it?
maybe it is
Yeah.
in Quinn's character to be like, hey, I'll get canceled,
It could-
whatever.
It could be a disguise that's not like blackface. Like,
That's not appropriating.
Quinn,
Yeah.
What
may-
a
maybe you
sentence.
maybe
What
you
a
hold
sentence.
off. Maybe you hold off the disguise until we may need.
I think.
it.
I
So
think
I just
Vera's
wanna
gonna
say-
well, but
when
it
they did-
takes a long time.
I just want to say when they dressed up Vera as a tree person, then that would have been Barkface. So I hope you're happy with yourself, Vera.
I think no, because like I could have like a hood and
Bark-
have
Bark is a-
snakes coming out of the hood, and just like
That,
have a
that
low.
feels worse for some reason. I don't know why that
Really?
feels worse.
I don't think that
to me.
feels
Wait,
worse.
so what you're saying is we're wearing a Rasta hat.
Yeah.
Is
like,
what you're
like
saying.
fake
Okay.
dreads. Ooh,
Oh God.
Maybe
I
we
think-
don't. Maybe we don't touch this one. It's fine.
maybe not- yeah.
I think Vera would just say, yeah, she sees you starting to scale it, and
Craft
she's
it.
like, please give me one legitimate reason why you think this is a good idea.
Hey, I like going off on my own. You said we needed.
I have explicitly said that is not a good idea. I'm going to ask you to respect that or stay on the ship.
Well, Vera, when you're right, you're right. I would like to make a disguise check to look different, though.
Different how?
Just taller and much more handsome.
Like a different, like a different colored fur.
Like a ripped herring gun.
Disguise kit to just look hotter.
black
is very
fur.
good.
Just going black fur.
Painted
No.
on he painted on abs on his
Yeah.
yeah.
No, just like as an unrecognizable herring gun.
a different
Like,
herring gun.
yeah,
so like
yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't be recognized.
Okay.
I think that's smarter as an
Yeah.
idea.
He's dressing up as
Mhm.
Kenneth Adams.
Yeah, more of a
Kenneth
Kenneth
Adams.
Adams.
Yeah.
He's gonna get mobbed
Okay,
by
that is going to be a lower
Fans.
deception check.
Is it
fans. Yeah.
deception
Gorgons
or
love Kenneth
disguise
Adams.
kit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, roll disguise. kit.
Okay, I will remind you, my minimum deception is 18.
Insane.
10.
10 feels fair. You just painted on abs. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. You don the disguise. What color is your fur now?
I'm gonna say, because the roll wasn't very good, I'm gonna say it's kind of like the MCU disguise of glasses and a baseball hat.
And a baseball cap.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
like a like a different hat, not a
But it
baseball
works
hat.
super well. Yeah.
Yeah.
not even a baseball team that you support.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got to name a baseball team in this
Yeah,
universe.
there you go.
Well, because he doesn't support them, obviously it's the Birdtown Ballers.
Oh,
There you go. I like it.
Town
I like that.
ballers. I like
That's
that.
pretty good.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just for the Eagles.
Go Birds.
Hey, I'll take the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles.
I feel like I shouldn't be the one to have to tell you this, Joe, but the Eagles are not a baseball team.
I know.
Oof.
So you make your way into the city.
Mhm.
Is it just the four of you?
Well, and the two
And the
Gorgons.
two.
And the two Gorgons?
And we'd probably bring Sevi and Snips too, then, though, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
if
feel
we're
like we
gonna- 'cause
would.
wouldn't leave them. We'd
Who
lock
would
up the
watch
ship.
Yeah, can we lock up the ship? Can we take the keys out of the ignition?
Manny taps the sending stone. And boop, boop.
Very good. So the eight of you make your way into the city. Um, Vera, where do you go first?
I think given the fact that I think given the fact that she knows that she was exiled, um, isn't going to spend too much time just lazing about, but I do think she goes to like her favorite spot in the city when she was growing up there was I think there is like a main waterfront or like a main like dock area,
Yeah.
and there's a lookout that you can climb that overlooks the dock, so you can kind of like go up on this tower. It's just a platform that looks out over the ocean, and it like gives you this beautiful view. And I think she just like goes up there first as a moment of kind of being back home after a long time, before heading to what's undoubtedly going to be an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
Being like, at least there's this moment of kind of solace of, you know, uh, her favorite place on
Yeah.
where she was.
Roll for wistful.
Oh, that's a nat 20. Look at that.
Uh,
Uh,
can I help
The
with this
result is
roll?
a single tear rolling down your cheek.
roll for tears.
Hmm.
6. She's a cold-hearted
Wait,
bitch.
wait,
She doesn't give a fuck anymore.
I'll
No,
give you advantage.
Or
I'll give you advantage by playing a sad song behind you.
yeah, or a 6 is she's sobbing. Yeah. This is my roll for tears. 16. She's wistful and emotional. She
Yeah.
is. She is. I think people can see it. Like, I think that's she kind of gives a I like to imagine that maybe Quinn like has his lute out and is like softly playing something in the background, and like I think usually she kind of like digs an elbow in his ribs as like kind of like fuck off, but I think this time it's like playful and like there's tenderness there. Like she doesn't actually dig him in the ribs, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely a deep moment. Like she has not been back since she was stolen from this place. So she's that's that's a long time. Um, and I think after we did we stayed overnight, right? So we flew first thing in the morning
I
to
don't think
Paris
we arrived
or
in the morning.
It was noon
okay, so it's evening,
when
yeah.
I woke up. So it's probably
Yes,
mid to
mid-afternoon,
late
yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, so I think the sun is starting to set. It's kind of like that beautiful kind of like summer long sunset kind of thing. And I think like as the sun is starting its descent, like she dusts herself off and says, "Right, let's go get yelled at by our mother," and like heads brings them towards the enclave.
man, he's like,
Um,
her mother already yelled at us and then
Yeah,
attacked
shit.
us.
Ah.
Actually,
Tried to kill us, actually.
Yeah.
that's
Like mother, like
yeah,
daughter.
that's the one I have a good relationship with. She
Uh,
she like brings them to the enclave.
Okay. Who are you hoping to meet with at the Enclave?
I mean, I think it's been a long. So when Vera was growing up, she had her like nest mother. So that was like the person that kind of like raised them in their
Yeah.
sisterhood. So that looking at my notes again,
Alma is the
was
nest mother.
Alma. I I don't know if Alma was quite old, so I don't know if Alma's still alive. I think if Alma was around, great. That would be the person she'd speak to. Uh, she's definitely not trying to run into Neff if she can avoid it, but who knows where Neff is and if Neff is already at the gathering or not. So I think she's prepared for either option.
Hard to say.
Hard to say, but yeah, I think she would ask for Alma if she when
Sure.
she shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. So for our purposes, we will say that this is the uh,
Yeah.
Enclave. I don't know, HQ,
Yeah, sure.
and you are greeted by I didn't remember that Alma was old. So this is going to be.
She died of other causes.
No, I think that in the time that that Vera has been away, Alma has retired.
Mm.
So you were greeted by another nest mother. Who I don't have a name for because I thought it was going to be Alma. So this is
Well, Alma,
Almost.
to be fair, Alma wasn't like ancient. I think the idea is more like she was the senior member there. She wasn't. I wasn't imagining her as being 80 years old. I think she was like in her 50s or something. But yeah.
yeah. It's still I still think that it would be sort of like a rotating
Yeah, totally. It is. Yeah.
position, and so this would be I'll put it in the chat. This would be Casera.
Sarah. I think she we walk up to the entrance and whether it's her directly there or whether there's like a guard or something that she announces to like upon seeing Casera, can I roll a history to be like, would I know would have I had an intimate relationship with this person? Like, would I have been close to them at any point?
I don't think that you need to roll for that.
Yeah.
Casera would have been training sort of like to be the next nest mother
Got you.
under Alma.
Deputy nest
So
mother. Yeah.
deputy nest mother, exactly.
Nice.
So you would have encountered her many times. She probably had done like basically like TA kind of shit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think Vera stops, looks at her and says, "Well, Casera, you were a terrible mentor. I can only imagine you'll be even worse as a nest mother." Um, and kind of gives like a sheepish like, "It's me," and like seeing if the joke is gonna land with this senior figure.
Is that Vera? I thought for sure you were dead.
Most people did, but here I am in the scale. And she also says, and I'm happy to say not only me. And she kind of motions to Almira and the other one as well.
Yeah. I think at that reveal, there are like immediate tears in her eyes. And these two, we did actually think were dead. And she like throws them into an embrace.
Yeah, I think Vera lets them have a moment. Like, I think she wants them to, especially she wants Almira to have that moment of like true homecoming. And says, Nest Mother, I'm sure you can appreciate I have some guests with me. And she kind of like extends an arm. You see, a turtle, a minotaur, and a herring with bad makeup. And she says, they are with me, and they have helped bring both of your kin home. I would appreciate an audience with you to share a little bit of our journeys, even though I know I may not be allowed to have the audience within those walls. Your decision stands, but I'd like to speak to you.
I will sponsor your visit here. Please come in, all of you.
Thank you. And she
Thank you.
like kind of ushers everybody in, and then she grabs Quinn and says, like,
Don't
On
fuck up.
on your best fucking behavior here, young man. And then
Quinn goes, "I'll be Sam." Tips his hat.
horrible,
baseball
horrible. Yeah, and I think
Uh.
ushers them in to maybe like go into the main hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So inside, Casera takes a kettle off of a nearby wood stove and pours 5 cups of tea. Well, two more for the other Gorgons, so 7 cups of tea, and passes each of them to you.
Yeah. I like to imagine that like the others are like sipping their tea, and then like all of the Gorgons are like holding their tea in front of them, and all of their snakes are resting their heads like
Oh,
in
a watering hole.
bowl of hot tea, and are like gently lapping it up. So like you got these three yokels drinking
I
it
just
with their
down it.
mouths like idiots. But yeah, no, the Gorgons all have it kind of like cupped in their hands, and they're like still speaking and letting them drink. And she says, "So, not to start things off on kind of a weird note, but Neff isn't around, is she? Because I'd really, I'd rather not if I could avoid it."
I believe that with the uh, upcoming meeting of the council, Nephra has already made her way to Trisalis,
Okay.
but I'm sure that there are others around that you would recognize from the old days, shall we say?
That's good. Yeah, well, I might. Who knows? Maybe my path will cross with Nefer again. I suppose I owe you an explanation, not only for why I'm here, but also how we came to find these two. I haven't been back since I was taken and they were
We
taken,
know.
but
We know.
that's partly out of choice and partly also out of,
The law.
yeah, well, that thing. Um, oh, Nick hated that. Nick said, I hate this line of,
Bad joke.
I think,
gone.
I think Vera says, Nest Mother,
Oh,
that must have been that must be him playing a bit. That's like
oh my.
leaning into the bit.
I also hated that joke.
I knew it. I knew it.
Michael, there has been so much worse.
I think
Maybe
Vera
it works
says,
this episode.
I am here because I wished to return my sister's home. I am in Paris because I am seeking guidance for an ulterior quest that is also for the benefit of our people. I don't know if you've heard, but there have been upheavals across the different kingdoms, and our group has been hired to try to solve as many of them as we can, and that has led us here.
Word has not passed to me of this.
You are undoubtedly you have heard of the upcoming trial.
I did mention it earlier, yes.
She didn't mention it, did she?
She
She
did, yeah.
said that Neff had made her way to Tersalis for the trial.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. That trial is happening because we brought Vasla to heal. And I say this not out of pride, but out of fact that this is happening because we found her and saw what she was doing. And although she was not being herself, I believe she is ultimately responsible for her actions.
So that's kind of a big moment for you.
It's kind of what we all dream about when we're young. You know what I mean? I mean, it did feel good to be vindictive, but it also felt. Oh, you mean like for the future of my acceptance into. Oh, I see. Not just about my relationship with my mother. Okay, I get it. Well,
Just
there's
all of the above.
yeah.
Sort of like a reverse Oedipus thing.
Yeah, yeah. It was a lot, and it will be a lot. But it might change my fortune. I'm not sure. The one thing that I am sure of is Almira was captive under whatever spell that my mother was under as well, and whether my mother welcomed it outwardly or whether she was led astray, the fact of the matter is that others suffered because of it greatly. And we, and I specifically, am trying to make it so that that never happens again to our kind. Nephra views my actions in a different light, and that's her right. But I hope you can see that there's more than one way to protect our people. And mine is not on Paris. It's out there.
Sarah nods. Am I your first stop here on your homecoming journey? I suppose I am because you're not in jail yet.
Yep.
Sure.
Let me hear from your friends. Could you speak of Vera's actions outside of our lands? I think that will be helpful in what is to come.
Well, Vera's like the best
She-
person I know.
Yeah, she's like immediately pushed Manny to the front of the line. She's like glaring daggers at both Wadai and Quinn. Like,
Yeah, Vera saved my life many times. She's always selfless and kind, and has always been really nice to me. She's definitely probably someone who's helped me be a better person. Manny really does like her. This isn't lying. Like Manny
Yeah.
really likes Vera. Yeah.
Sarah turns expectantly to the other two.
Nah,
now.
this is
Just a simple country lawyer.
just the simple country lawyer. Did does Quinn know what Vera's crimes were?
What
No.
she's told your group is that sorry, no, but what she's told your group is, which is not a lie, is that she was exiled from Paris after her capture. So you knew she was captured. You kind of don't know that much about the intervening years, but you know that she was not allowed to return
Okay.
after she was captured.
Okay. Nah, I'm just a simple country lawyer. But I think
Not a lawyer.
I think you
He's
might.
dressed as a lawyer though.
I'm dressed
With abs.
True.
I think you'll find that Vera has repaid whatever debt she owes tenfold in service to the greater purpose in the world. And I think if you intend to keep her locked up here for whatever reason, the world will suffer because of it.
Kenneth Adams is a fan of mine as well. in case you- in case you
Now,
didn't
my
know.
name is Lonnie. I'm Lonnie Adams. Kenneth Adams.
No relation.
No relation.
No relation. I believe that Vera is a cunning warrior, a frightening opponent. And so I kind of think when I thinks and then looks at Vera, and I imagine Vera's not actually staring daggers at him.
No,
Holding herself and anyway.
Smaller knives.
Yes,
Yeah.
small knives.
She's staring butter knives at you.
I think that anybody who can't go home deserves a second chance.
She nods, and she's about to say something else when the doors burst open, and in marches another Gorgon.
She's tiny.
You guys are hilarious.
I think so.
Vera, you immediately clock this as Thriss.
Mm.
This is a one of the leaders of the nest, and she is a bit of a go-getter. Greg's 5x5 called her militant.
I think without fail, can I roll an attack roll to see if I can disarm or trip her as she opens the door? Like, I want to
Is it-
surprise attack her.
Is it pronounced Thriss?
Thriss.
Thriss.
Yeah, Thriss.
It's like the Nantuko Primus.
Nick's adding a lot of S's to
Thriss.
that.
Hey, stop that.
The noise gate's trying to stop us from doing it.
I don't know that you are close enough to the door to do the thing that you're saying.
Okay,
In my head.
never mind. Oh, actually, well then, can I?
I'll slip Vera some
No.
some ball bearings.
Can I shoot my crossbow at, not at her specifically, but at the door next to her head, like a warning shot instead?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the timing here because you are in conversation. The door bursts open. You don't know who's coming through.
Oh, I thought you said I clock that it's her.
As soon as
You
you
clock that
notice that's her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. It's like a different. Okay. I was kind of treating this as two separate phases, not like in the middle of this happening. Okay, that's fine. Never mind.
We're still in main phase 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So she
Never mind that. Ignore that.
she bursts in and says, "I heard the news. I heard you were back. Vera, what are you doing here? Why don't you just take the trial?"
Oh.
I think Vera says, she kind of gives her like a shit-eating grin, and she's like, Thriss, you wouldn't dare interrupt the nest mother when she's having a private audience, would you? I mean, where are your manners?
She looks at Cassera, rolls her eyes. Surely you should take the trial.
The 4-day trial?
No.
Okay.
Nest mother, I apologize. Thriss, it's none of your fucking business when I take the trial. I will talk to you after I'm done with the nest mother. Thank you. It's great to see you. You look great.
Vera, I don't want to have to arrest you. I would prefer if we could just settle things the right way.
I think she like
If you
rolls her
just- if you
eyes.
just-
Sorry.
If you just I don't know, stop being so fucking stubborn.
Vera pointedly ignores that comment and like just turns back to the nest mother and is like, I can. Are you bothered by this? Can we? Should I deal with this first, or
Quinn will stand up and go, I think this one's one for me, and I'll walk outside. Like, I'll try and take this woman outside to talk to.
As her representative.
Yeah.
His lawyer.
I guess I'll walk up and pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is I'm Lonnie Adams. I'm Vera's associate, and counsel in all matters relating to any trials.
So I'm gonna resolve these in the order that they were put on the stack. So, you asked Alma if she is bothered by this, and sorry, not Alma, Cassera, if she's bothered by this, and Cassera looks at you, Vera, and she says, "No, Vera, I think you are being really fucking stubborn."
Whoop. Whoop.
Okay. If I
Thriss,
consider. Oh, sorry.
Thriss is approached by Quinn, who says whatever he just said, and without looking at you, Quinn, Thriss looks at Vera and says, "And also, Vera, who's your friend?"
He's so hot.
Who's she referring to?
This is Lonnie Adams. He's my legal representative and a member of my crew.
No. And she points to Manny and
Hmm?
puts a snake
Oh.
behind her ear. Who's your friend?
Now, Thriss, I know you like your toys, but
Many gulps.
this is not a
Heavy
this is
gulp.
not a this is not a cheap item.
Well,
She kind of pointedly looks at her, but this is Manny, and he's among the strongest and most honorable beings I know.
Many blushes.
he could. I mean, Manny could join us outside to talk while they finish our conversation. Their conversation in here.
I would like that.
Manny, you're like, can I take these? And he has like a handful of like little like crackers. I'll just go. And he takes like the tea.
That's funny. I think as they're exiting, when I kind of like motion to you to just kind of like hang back for like with us, and I think I turn to Alma and I say, or Kasara, and I say, I haven't done the trial. You all know it. I am willing to consider doing it if it will stop you from legally having to arrest me. But I think you'd want to hear what it is that we're trying to do anyways. But if you are bound, you are bound, and I can't run away from Thriss forever.
I can. My sponsorship of you for this meeting right now would allow me to hear what you have to say, but I can't. I can't protect you for your entire stay here. I don't know how long you plan on staying, but it. Uh, you you need to make a decision, Vera, about where you want your life to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
I'll make a
Peace.
decision.
No, I think Vera says, I owe my life to this conclave and to my sisters and to my nest. So even if it means that I never set back in Paris, I would want this to still be my home and why I do what I do. So I will submit to the scale, but I need to know that if Nephra comes asking or comes for blood, that my sisters are there to defend who I am should I pass.
I think if you follow this by the book, if you take the trial, if you pass through the night, yes, we will. But if you continue your, shall we say, willful line of action, that's not something that I can guarantee.
What I've learned is that as I've aged, my goals and my desires do not have to be impeded by the rules that I found to be arbitrary. So I will, if you will have me, I will submit. And should I be successful, perhaps we can have a secondary conversation about what else I am seeking and how you can help us protect all of Gorgonkind. But I see I left Alma in a position that I do not want to leave you in. So I am willing.
Good. I will inform the others. She looks to when I. Good to meet you, and
Pleasure.
you may need to go rescue your friends.
Yeah, otherwise Thriss might have her way with them, and that never ends well. And I
Great to
think
get
she-
smashed on the other side of the
like
door.
that. They might like it. Just
they
let
might like
happen.
it. Trust me, when it's Thriss, no one likes it. And I think she like takes Kasara's hands and like clasps them like in a gesture of like goodwill, but also of respect. And then quickly like gets one eye. She's like, no, but seriously, we need to protect them from Thriss. She can turn them. She can turn them to stone.
Glasses on.
In more ways than one. And then I think
As we're
busts out
walking
to
out,
find them.
I'd like to whisper into Veer, "What did you do?" Like actually asking her.
I think Vero whips around and says, "You show me yours, I'll show you mine."
I didn't do any. What?
Yikes. Both of you guys
Pulls
got
out-
some
pulls out
real
the
weird
longs.
homecomings.
Pulls out tide collar.
What I mean is, I think we are both subject to alternate views of the people in our community of what we've done or not done that aren't entirely fair. What I've done is, well, it's really two things, but ultimately it was that I couldn't see a life returning to just play at being a member of this community after what happened to me. And that's not how my community works.
Vera, I'm a little more simple. You don't have to do the veil and all that. I understand. Let's go help Quinn and Manny.
It's called the scale, but that's okay. But she like nudges you and winks, and she says, "I'll tell you in good standing that in good time that there's a person that doesn't like me, but there's more than anything things I don't like about myself, and that is what I'm
Spoilers.
hopefully here to fix."
You know, they say
Yeah.
working on yourself is easier than working on others. We can do
Really?
this.
I think they
Yes.
don't say that. I don't know if they said that.
Wow, it looks like Thriss is really working on Manny.
It's easier than working on myself.
Yeah, I think as we step
You,
outside.
you pass through the doors. What does this scene look like?
I
I
like
kind
to
of have a
imagine-
vision
Oh,
that,
sorry, you go, you
that
go.
Manny's like backed up against the wall and Thriss is talking
Yeah.
very close to him.
Yeah, like anime
Yeah.
hand against
Yeah.
wall, but he's an entire he's an entire minotaur, and she still has like hand over the nape of his neck against wall, power leaning. Like
Quinn is
But
like,
I'm also imagining like her other hand is like pushing Quinn like back.
yeah,
yeah,
away.
like a little kid.
Quinn is trying to get her attention desperately to like talk to her at all.
I think as they step out, Vera says, Thriss, you can have your prey later, but
What?
you shut up, Manny.
What?
But I've let our nest mother know that I will submit to the trial. So you don't have to hunt me or my friends. We are here willingly, and I will submit.
You're making the right decision, Vera. And she collects herself, turns to go, and she looks back at Manny and she says, I hope you make the right decision as well.
He blushes.
And that is where we will end tonight's session.
What a blue baller.
Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for listening. And we will be back in a couple of weeks with more of this.